This is the DJI Mini 2 and I have it for about 1 week. Let's talk about it. So first of all, let me explain to you why I bought a drone. I bought a drone specifically for my other YouTube channel, for my other YouTube cycling channel. If you want to check it out, I'm going to leave a link up here. And because so many times it happened to me that I was in the middle of nowhere with my bicycle and I see some beautiful landscape views and I want to capture these beautiful landscape views, and it's pretty much impossible to do so with the GoPro that I'm using to film my cycling videos. And I was like, I wish I had a drone with me to film these beautiful landscape views, and this is why I got a drone. Now, why I bought the DJI Mini 2 and not something else? Initially, I wanted to buy the Mavic Air 2, but I wanted to shop. I saw them side by side in my hand, and this one was pretty much almost half the size of the Mavic Air 2, and also it was pretty much 2 times cheaper than the Mavic Air 2. And because it's my first drone and I'm scared of crashing it, I decided to get myself the DJI Mini 2 because it's 2 times cheaper pretty much, and also it's more compact, and for me size is really important to put it in my bicycle bags. So I went with the DJI Mini 2 and I'm really glad that I did because I'm super happy with this drone. Now I want to share with you how easy it was for me to learn how to fly the drone, control the drone, film with it, and so on. So the shop that I bought the drone from, they actually gave me a quick beginner course of like 1 hour, and it was super simple for me to learn how to fly this drone. It's really easy. Even if you learn how to fly this drone by yourself, it wouldn't take you more than like 2-3 hours, I would say. It's super easy to set up, super easy to pair with the remote controller with your phone, and it's super easy to control it, especially if you've ever played video games. If you ever played video games, it's gonna be like second nature for you. It's gonna be super simple to fly and to use, in my opinion. Now let's talk about distance. So one time I took the drone around 2 kilometers away from me, but I was in the middle of nature pretty much, so no buildings, nothing, and it was totally fine. I had a full GPS connection, full remote controller connection, everything was totally fine. But once I've tried to use this drone in a more civilized area, like the place that I'm living in, then I started losing signal in around 700, 800 meters. I saw some red bars on the RC thing, and I brought it back. So I guess if you're gonna fly in the middle of nature, it's gonna be totally fine if you wanna take it far away, I guess. But if you're gonna fly it in a more civilized area, in the city or something like that, then you have to be really cautious when it comes to how far away the drone is from you, so you won't lose it or something like that. But honestly, I would not take the drone more than like 500 or 700 meters away from me, because I just want to get shots of me riding my bicycle, beautiful landscape shots, and it's more than enough for me. I don't need to get it like 10 kilometers away from me or 5 kilometers away from me. It's too much for me. 500 meters to even like 700, maybe even 1 kilometer is gonna be more than enough for what I'm doing with the drone. All right, so now finally, let's talk about the camera quality. And I think the camera quality on the DJI Mini 2 looks decent, but it's definitely not great. For the majority of people, it's going to be more than enough. For me, it's going to be more than enough. But if you want to get super high quality images and videos, I would suggest to go with the Mavic Air 2 than the Mini 2. It's not that you cannot get good results with the Mini 2, you can, but it's not super high quality camera. The camera quality is pretty much the same as the GoPro Hero 6 or maybe even the GoPro Hero 7, something like that, which is good, but it's definitely not as great as on the Mavic Air 2. I've also noticed that the camera does something weird when it comes to exposing images if you're using automatic settings. So for example, if you're gonna fly in a really bright area and you're gonna let the camera expose for itself, it's usually going to overexpose your image. It's gonna look too bright. And if you're gonna film in a really dark area, the camera usually going to underexpose your image and it's gonna look too dark, in my personal opinion. So what I usually do when I film in bright areas, I find a spot where it looks correctly exposed, and then I lock the camera, lock the exposure, and then I fly and record what I want to record. And the same thing I'm doing when I'm filming in dark areas, which I usually do not do. So if you're going to use this drone, I would recommend to use exposure lock just to get the right exposure, or even better, You can change everything manually, like the shutter speed and ISO, to get the right exposure. But if you don't want to spend time changing everything, lock the exposure where it looks right, and then start recording rather than getting these overexposed images if you're filming in bright areas, or underexposed images if you're filming in really dark areas. Other than that, the camera quality is more than enough for the majority of people, and I'm super happy with the camera quality of the DJI Mini 2. Okay guys, so I think this is pretty much it. I'm super happy with the DJI Mini 2. It has decent camera quality, it's portable, it's small, not too expensive, super easy to set up, and I'm really loving the DJI Mini 2. I think if you're a beginner like myself when it comes to drones, this should be your first purchase. It's an amazing drone, trust me, you won't be disappointed. If you guys have any tips, suggestions on how to fly drones better, or I don't know, if you have more experience when it comes to flying drones, let me know down below. And I guess I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.